We're reviewing systems of equations with using linear combination and some of the applications. First off, we have this problem. It says Kevin is solving the systems of equations 2x minus y equals 10 and 4x minus y equals 5. Now, it asks, what should Kevin multiply if he wants to eliminate the y term? So if I look at these y's right here, I need to multiply one of my equations by something. Right now, the y's look exactly the same. What does one of them need to be? One of them needs to be a positive, okay? So how do I get that? I multiply one of my equations by what number? By a -1. Does it have to just be this top one? No. It could be the bottom one, because either way, you just need to change one of the two equations to a positive y. This should have been -1. You're multiplying by a -1, not a -1y. Okay, you're not multiplying by letters, you're multiplying by that number. Now, if I wanted to eliminate the x's first, just by choices of preference, if I look at the x's, I need to take the smaller number. Is there a number, or let me go back and ask this. What number does this x need to be in order to make this 0 to make the x's cancel out? It needs to be what total number? It needs to be a -4, but how do I get -2? How do I get -4? I multiply it by a -2. Right here, because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to figure out what number I need to take times 2 to get a -4, because I need -4 plus 4 to make 0. So the answer to this one would be -2. You would need to multiply the bottom equation by, the top equation by -2. Next, here's the problem. First off, what we're going to do when we go to solve by linear combination, I'm going to go to look to see if I can combine them right away. Is there a variable right now that automatically makes 0? The y's do, because -5 plus 5 makes 0. These cancel out. 3x minus 2x. 3 minus 2 is 1 equals 20 minus 10 is 10. I don't need to do anything else. Remember, my ordered pairs go x then y. So I have 10, and now I need to find the y. To find the y, choose one of the two equations. It doesn't matter which one. I'll choose this top one just for giggles. And I'm going to take the 10, I'm going to substitute that in here for x, right here. So I have 3 times 10 minus 5y equals 20. 30, because 3 times 10 is 30, minus 5y is 20. I'm going to subtract 30 from each side. -5y equals -10. I'm going to divide by -5. Y equals 2. Your answer should have been 10, 2. Next, here's the next problem. I'm going to look at this one. Is there a letter, is there a variable that automatically makes 0 without us having to multiply any of the equations? The y's do, because y minus y makes 0. Now here is the mistake that I've seen people make. They put x equals 2. Why is that wrong? What are they missing? Yeah, because this is an x plus x. This is a 2x. I need to divide by 2. X equals 1. Now, choose one of your two equations. I'm going to choose this top one. X plus y equals 4. X is 1. Take this 1 and put it in here. 1 plus y equals 4. Well, a lot of times you can look at this and figure out what it's supposed to be, I hope. Y equals 3. Your answer should be 1, 3. To get a 1, to do the minimum standard, you must be able to do the problems 2 and 3. You have to be able to do those with no errors. Looking at number 4. Now in this one, we're going to have to multiply by something. right here, if I look at it, if I wanted to look at the y's, because one is negative, one is positive, is there anything I can multiply by 5, any whole number to get 8? No. So I need to multiply the bottom equation by something to get rid of my x's. Because what does this number need to be right here with this x to make 0? It needs to be a negative 9, so I'm going to multiply by negative 9. So I didn't do anything to the top equation, so I'm going to rewrite that. 9x minus 8y equals negative 16. Now let's write the bottom one. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Negative 9 times 5 is negative 45y. Negative 9 times 10. This is a mistake too. You have to multiply by that last one. Negative 90. A lot of times if you miss this, you forget to multiply by that. Now, the x's cancel out. I get negative 8y minus 45y. That's negative 53y. And then negative 16 plus a negative 90 is negative 106. Divide by negative 53. Y equals 2. So my y number is 2. Now I need to look and I need to find out what my x number is. I'm going to choose this one right here. It's a lot smaller. It doesn't matter though. You can choose the top one. I say that over and over again. Oops, a 10. There you go. I'm going to take the 2 and put it in here for the y. Please, please, please do not write x plus 2 equals 10. If somebody did this, what did they do wrong? They forgot to do the what? They forgot to multiply by this 5. So you're supposed to have x plus 5 times y is 2, equals 10. Well, 5 times 2 is 10, equals 10. Subtract 10 from each side. X equals 0. Your solution should be 0, 2. The next one. If I go through and look at this one, let's talk about first, let's remind ourselves what we could multiply by in order to solve it. If I wanted to get rid of the y's first, if that's what you saw first, what number needs to be up here for the y's to make them cancel out? It needs to be, well, they're both positive, so it needs to be a negative 8. So you could multiply by a negative 8. Okay, that's one way. Now, a lot of times, though, I look and see, is there a variable where one of them is negative and one of them is positive? The x's are, but what number needs to be right here? It needs to be the same as down here, so it needs to be a 10. 2 times what gives you 10? 5. So I'm going to go ahead and work it out this way. You could have found your answer by multiplying all that top one by negative 8. I'm just going to do a positive 5. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10x. 5 times y plus 5y. Do not forget the last one. 5 times 10, that equals 50. I'm going to rewrite the bottom equation. 10x plus 8y equals 2. Now let's combine them. The x's cancel out. I get 13y equals 52. Divide by 13. When you do that, y equals 4. So I have this. Now I need to find my x. Doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to choose this one right here. It has smaller numbers if you want to know my reasoning. Sometimes I choose the bottom. I might choose the bottom one because they're all positives. It doesn't matter. You'll still get the same answer. I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to put it in here for y. So I have negative 2x plus, I'm just going to put a 4 in there because there's no number in front of that y, so I can just substitute it in, equals 10. Subtract 4 from each side. Negative 2x equals 6. Divide by negative 2. X equals negative 3. Your answer should be negative 3, 4. The last one that's on this section, right here, let's look at these. If I want to eliminate the x's. Is there anything times 4 that would give me 10? Any whole number? No. What about anything times 2? Any whole number times 2 to give me 7? No. So when this happens, the next thought process that I have is one of the variables positive and one negative? The y's are. So let's multiply both of the equations. Let's go up here. Let's change this to a 14y. Why did I choose 14? Because 2 times 7 is 14. I'm going to put a 7, multiply 7 times the top one, and a 2 times the bottom one. Now let's rewrite this. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28x. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14y. 7 times 14, what is that? 98. The bottom one, 2 times negative 10, negative 20x. 2 times 7y plus 14y. 2 times negative 25 is negative 50. Now we should have a letter that can cancel out. The y's will cancel out here. I get negative 48x equals 98 minus 50 is 48. Divide by negative 48. X equals negative 1. Now my y's. Choose one of the two equations. I'll choose this one up here. Negative 4x minus 2y equals 14. X is negative 1. Put negative 1 in here. I have negative 4 times negative 1 minus 2y equals 14. 4, why is this positive 4? Negative times a negative is a positive. Minus 2y equals 14. Subtract 4 from each side. Negative 2y, don't forget that negative, equals 10. Divide by negative 2. Y equals negative 5. There's my solution to the system. Looking at the other standard, looking at the word problems right here. First off, you had to be able to get this problem right in order to pass. It says a group of students going on a field trip. If the students take 3 vans and 1 car, they can transport 22 people. If they take 2 vans and 4 cars, they can transport 28 people. Which system of equations can be used to find C, the number of people that can fit into each car, and V for the vans? Okay, look at the first sentence. It says 3 vans plus 1 car can equal 22. That does not have it here. I'd cross out A. What about B? Nope. C? Nope. D is the only one. Now, depending on which version you have, there's only one equation that has 3V plus C equals 22. The next one, if you wanted to check it, it said 2 vans, 2V, and 4 cars, 4C equals 28. So this should be our system. Next, right here, this threw off a lot of people. It says Sam bought flowers for his girlfriend for Valentine's Day. Roses cost $2.50 and daisies cost $1.75. Sam bought a total of 12 flowers and spent $24.75. How many of each type of flowers did he buy? They're asking us to find out how many of each type of flowers. What are the 2 types of flowers? Roses and daisies. One of my variables has to be the number of roses. You could have made it R instead of X if you wanted to. Y needs to be the number of daisies. You could have made that one D. So instead of X and Y, you could have put R and D. The first equation is going to be how many actual flowers did he buy. So we're going to have the roses plus the daisies equals 12. Sam bought 12 flowers, so that's my first equation. The second one has to have the dollar amounts with it. X is the number of roses. How much are the roses? The roses are 250. So I'm going to have 250x plus the daisies, $1.75 times the daisies, and he spent a total of $24.75. Now you can go through here and solve this by linear combination by multiplying the top equation by something. What I would do, though, if this was my test and it was multiple choice, I would go through and I would substitute in and see which one works. Like, for example, the first thing, I'd look at the first equation. It says x plus y equals 12. Well, if I add 7 plus 5, that equals 12. 7 plus 5, that equals 12. And 6 and 6 is 12. Well, that stinks because that didn't help me. But this one would right here. Let's substitute in. Like, let's go through and say, all right, on the first one, 250 times 7 roses plus $1.75 times 5 daisies. What does that equal? If you multiply those together and add them, you get 26.25. Is that how much he spent? No. So this is not the right answer. If I go and try the next one, 250 times, not 7, how many roses did he buy? 250 times 5 plus $1.75 times 7. When you multiply those, you get $24.75. That should be your answer, 7 daisies and 5 roses. The next one, you had to get this one right as well. You have to be able to identify them. Remember, this is when I was talking about my youngest child trying to figure out the difference between, how much money I have and what my oldest one knows. See, my youngest one knows that if I was Jessica, that I only have 25 monies. I only have 25 coins. So, and it's talking about nickels and dimes. So I know that my dimes plus my nickels is 25. All that a little kid knows is that how many coins they have in their hand. So when I look up here, which two can I eliminate? I can eliminate A and C because this adds in the values, and that's not what it is. This is just how many dimes and how many nickels are in my hand. Okay, so now, though, look at these two answer choices. What is the difference? What did they do to try and trick you? The answer should be right here, and this problem should be B. This one is not right because it says 0.05 times the dimes. Is a dime 5 cents? No. So if you were going too fast, you missed it because you did not see the numbers that were matched up with the variables. Be very careful. The last one talks about Mandy has 11 coins in quarters and dimes. The value of her coins is $2.15. Let Q equal the number of quarters and D equals the dimes. So we're going to have Q plus D equals, how many coins does she have? She has 11. Then put the dollar amounts with it. 0.25 times the quarters plus a dime is worth 10 cents. You can either put 0.10 or 0.1 equals $2.15. That's all it wanted you to do, was to write the system.